Hi again, everyone. My name is Nina Torres, and this is my midterm on Claudette Colvin. Claudette Colvin was born on September 5th, 1939, in Montgomery, Alabama. She was alive during the end of the Jim Crow era. Jim Crow laws were actual written regulations that legalized segregation. Black communities and individuals that tried to defy these laws were often killed or involved in violence. Some examples of these laws included segregating public pools, hospitals, housing, restaurants, and much more. After events like Brown v. Board, the Civil Rights Act, Voting Rights Act, and Fair Housing Act, most discrimination and segregation was ruled unconstitutional, but integration was still not a guarantee. On March 2, 1955, Claudette Colvin was let out of school early with her friends. They went downtown and got on a bus. White people always sat on the front of these buses. A young white woman boarded the same bus, so the driver instructed the students to get up so she could sit. Colvin did not get up because she paid her fare, and it was her constitutional right to remain where she was. She also did not want to get up because the woman was young, not elderly. Police officers later boarded the bus and escorted her off with extreme force. Colvin was the first person arrested for challenging Montgomery's bus segregation policies, but only made a few local papers, unlike Rosa Parks. Colvin did not make world news for the incident because she was not as active in the NAACP, and a teenager could not be the face of resistance to segregation. It would also be unsafe, and she is not as experienced as Rosa Parks. Colvin was said to be pregnant at the time, with assault charges on police. The National Association for Advancement of Colored People considered using Colvin's case to challenge segregation rules, but they decided against it because of her age and because she was pregnant without being married. A year later, on December 20th, 1956, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled an end to segregation on buses, and the testimony required 4 plaintiffs, one being Claudette Colvin. The court order to desegregate Montgomery buses was served. At the time, Rosa Parks was the secretary for the NAACP. I personally did not find any articles stating that Rosa Parks answered Claudette Colvin's call. It is true that the NAACP wanted to use Colvin's story, but they did not think she would be a good spokesperson for the civil rights movement. This is due to reasons I already stated, such as she was too young, possibly unreliable since she was a teen, and she was pregnant. All these qualities were too controversial to be the face of integration. It is said that Rosa Parks had the right image to play the part because of her role in the NAACP, she was associated with the middle class, and because she was a quiet, respectful, soft-spoken woman. The NAACP did not recreate Colvin's story using Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks had a strong bloodline of family who advocated for racial equality, meaning she already was a civil rights activist and a member of the NAACP before Colvin refused to give up her seat. Colvin was the first person to be arrested, but it was only a matter of time until the civil rights movement really began to move with someone else who was fed up named Rosa Parks. This led to the Montgomery bus boycott that ended segregation. Claudette Colvin's story is true, but it does not take away from the importance or impact of Rosa Parks' story. The timing was not right for Colvin to make an impact as Rosa Parks did. In 2009, Philip Hughes published a book in detail about Claudette Colvin personally saying, "He said he wanted to know about the 15-year-old because really, if I had not made the first cry for freedom, there wouldn't have been a Rosa Parks, and after Rosa Parks, there wouldn't have been a Dr. King." While her role may be unrecognized, Colvin significantly helped advance civil rights in the city, as did Rosa Parks, but she was not the first person to refuse to leave her seat. After Claudette Colvin was arrested, she was shunned by her neighborhood. She lost many friends and was having a hard time finding work because of her rebellion. A couple years later, Colvin moved to New York in 1958. There she found work as a nurse's aide. She worked in a nursing home for 35 years and retired in 2004, which is relatively recent. My questions on Claudette Colvin are, what did Rosa Parks do that was so different to get large recognition versus Colvin? And how come Claudette Colvin isn't in any museums yet? These are my references, and thank you for listening.